Morning, it's morning coffee. I apologize for missing yesterday. My puppy was not feeling well, and so we tried to record several times, but it became frustrating, and so just kind of tabled that for yesterday. Um, I was thinking about how we show up for one another and how we love one another and what are the energies like, and that was um, determined not to be the conversation today, and so. I think I want to go back and talk about the ascension energies and the change that we're all facing and how that is impacting so many people. A lot of people are really dealing with, um, or what I would call, okay, what I heard just now in my thoughts was these come to Jesus moments. Um, and even if you're not religious, you understand that phrase. Moments when you have to meet yourself and say, oh, what am I doing here? I had a friend recently who I'd had agreements with around these are the ways that we will interact with one another. And when that person was not following those agreements, I pointed it out very gently and kindly. And this gentleman made this statement: I've lost my moral compass. In my excitement, I've lost my moral compass. That's a come to Jesus moment. I haven't spoken to that person since that night. And certainly, I would appreciate a conversation. I would like to know how they are. I feel that I deserve an apology for their behavior. But certainly, sometimes we don't get that. We don't get that closure, and so you make your own closure. But um, the reality that we have to face is sometimes people are dealing with things that are way beyond our comprehension. And we have to understand that as loving beings, we are required by others? No, by our own selves to give. And let me reframe that. We're required by love. Love demands that we would give grace and mercy to other individuals. And here's what happens when you don't: you are the only one who suffers. I have a gentleman in my life right now who I absolutely love and adore. And he will frequently remind me that in no way does he ever, nor has he ever, deserved the kindness and generosity that I have extended to him. And my only response can be, love demanded it. Love demanded that. And when we think about what does love demand of us, this is a very poignant thing for me. Love is kind, and love is patient, and love is not easily angered, and love is not boastful, and love is not self-seeking. It looks after the needs of others. It's always trusting. It's always hopeful. It never fails. And so where love is, you have all of these things. And when you don't have all of these things, no matter how much you say, I love you, or I have love for this, or I have love for that, you do not. Because you are now in a state of fear. And so often we would say that the opposite of love is hatred, and it is not. I would propose to you that the opposite of love is fear. Because at the base root of all of these negative words that we would apply, hatred, anger, dislike, etc., is fear. You are afraid of something. When you have hatred towards someone, if you really get to the core of it, you have a fear of something. There is fear within you. Fear that that person or that thing or that concept will disrupt your normal. Your normal is not safe. You are not safe. And so you push away from that other, whatever it is, whether it's a person or a thing or a concept, you push away from it. And you may have so much fear that it rises to the level of hatred as opposed to anger or despair or discouragement or any of these lower these vibrations that are not as intense as hatred. And so I would propose to you that the opposite of love is not hatred, but rather fear. And so for me, and I would suggest that you consider incorporating this in your thoughts, is when I feel any of these things, anger, frustration, discouragement, all of that, what is it that I am afraid of? Taking it back to that simple concept that we talk about, the car that cuts you off in traffic. They got in front of me. Now I'm angry. Now I'm frustrated. Now I'm irritated. Whichever level you're at, what is it that you fear? They're going to get to the destination 5 seconds before you? They're going to cause a traffic accident? They're going to, what is it that you fear? Because truly, in your frustration, in your anger, you can identify a fear. You're afraid of something. You're afraid for your safety or the safety of others, or you're afraid for loss of your supremacy, i.e. arriving first at whatever location you're going to, and etc. And so really, before you're very quick to dismiss that thought, think about it. And it will give you a different perspective on these things. And when you step into a different perspective, you are more empowered to make change in your world, because you don't any longer sit in the space of, oh, I love this and I love that person and and I hate that and I don't like that, and all of a sudden this over here becomes things that you have full control over, and these things that are triggering you to anger, frustration, hatred, etc., now become tools that you can use for your self-growth and your self-improvement. And it takes me back to a conversation I had with this man that I dearly love. Everything that you ever did that triggered in me anger, fear, sadness, and negative feelings of any kind were the tool that I used to change me. Because when you trigger fear, anger, hurt, pain of any kind in my energy stream, I can now see something that I don't like in me, and I can remove it so that all the energy within me flows smoothly. Because your stuff is your stuff. But when your stuff hits my energy and causes turbulence, now I have something that I can change. If I don't like it, I can change it. Or I can choose to not change it, and then I can remove myself from other people. But here's the thing, you will constantly come up against those same turbulence issues until you learn how to not be disrupted by other people. And so I often will walk right into the storm. Oh, that hurts me. Let me run into it again and again and again until it does not bother me anymore. And why do I do that? Because I'm a glutton for punishment? Maybe sometimes. I wonder if there's something wrong. But at the end of the day, it's not that. It's because I understand that when I am no longer triggered by that, I have healed it. When I can look at you and see the same behavior in you that yesterday upset me and made me feel sad and angry, and today all I can do is say, I'm sorry that you're in that space, and I wish you nothing but love, and I hope you get better. And I feel no anger, and I feel no pain, and I feel no sadness, only love and compassion. Then I have grown, and I have conquered that trigger. And so I welcome them. It's not an invitation to you, universe, to send more triggers, just so we're clear. But it is a recognition that those things are good. And I saw a meme today. I shared it on my personal Facebook page. There was a gentleman, he said, we walk into relationships and we have these expectations of good communication, expectations of this, he said what we should have is expectations that we will be triggered, because when we are triggered by this person, that is the person, if we can build a good relationship. And I thought, wow, that man understands what I'm talking about. Because if you have a person in your life who triggers the living crap out of you, that's the person that you want to build good communication with. Because if they love you and you're triggering one another, you build the communication and you will have a phenomenal partnership. You will learn and grow and become so strong. This man that I had a horrible dust up with last month, if that man could connect with what I'm saying right now, what a partnership for personal growth he could have with me, because I love him deeply. I can see your darkness, and it does not scare me. Those are the people that you want in your world, not the ones who run and hide, not the ones who put up barriers, not the ones who block you and say, oh, I don't want to be around you because you make me triggered. No, you want the ones who say, I see you and I love you and I'm in. Have a good day.